Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Age Millennials. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rich.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about throuples. And if you're not aware of what a throuple is, it's when three people, any gender, we're just going to chop it up as any gender, is in a relationship. And everyone that's in it is aware. It's not no dude cheating on the side with the girl and then says he's in a throuple when he gets caught.
So I thought we were in a throuple the whole time. Wait, was you not aware that we were? Because I think there must have been some miscommunication.
Pretty sure I told you.
I'm pretty sure that I said that from the moment that I met you, but you might have forgot because it was in like the puppy love stage.
Yeah, remember when we first went on our date and I said I'm currently with someone, but we're looking for a third?
And you moved in and it was like, it was there.
So yeah, a throuple, interesting concept, really. I didn't even know about a throuple until last year or maybe the year before that was like a real thing that people were doing.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like I've heard of other, like obviously other fucking things, but it's usually more sexual, but
like threesomes.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like an actual like commitment.
Yeah, this is like
living together. You're doing everyday shit together. I wonder how like the kids situation would work, right?
Yeah,
it's like that's some big decisions right there. Like, what if they both want kids? What if one of them wants kids?
I was thinking that too, man.
That could be a big problem.
What if it's a woman with two dudes and they both want her to bear a son for them?
Yeah.
And like,
who's first?
Yeah, like obviously, like if dude C or dude B, I guess, has a kid with the girl, obviously dude A is not gonna be like, that's my son too.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not legally or like even like biologically.
But if you're like really a fucking throuple and you're in a relationship, I feel like you would have to like accept
see
that
it as your
own,
kid,
right?
Yeah,
just like you would if you were with anybody else. So,
but then what happens if the throuple breaks up?
Yeah,
and the kid sees both of his dads as dads or whatever. Like, does they got to fight for custody against them? And what if they like everyone splits, all parties splits?
Yeah.
Then you got like 3 custody battles going on, or
I would imagine one of them would be like, fuck that kid. So it'll make things less complicated, but I don't know. Yeah. See, that's like a crazy dynamic to think about. And it's like you said, who goes first? So it's like, if Tom, you're up first. Oh, Tom, you've been trying to knock Mary up for fucking 3 months and nothing's happened, bro. I'm going next now. You're fucking work on your seed.
Yeah. Something like that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I just feel like if you're in a throuple, you're just going to complicate things even more. It's already complicated as just 2 people in a relationship.
Yeah.
Now you're throwing a third person in the mix, a third personality, a third emotional person, whatever the fuck it is. And
yeah, just a human being overall. And then either way you look at it, I mean, whether it was man, woman, a woman and a man, it's pretty, I mean, even if you want to go like, if it's 3 men or 3 women, like, it doesn't matter. Humans are humans, and being in a space together, sharing a space and shit. Like, obviously there's that beginning. Like, oh yeah, I love this. Everybody goes through that. I love this person.
Honeymoon stage.
Or these 2 people, oh, I love this. And then like 8 months down the road, you're like, God damn, I got to deal with 2 motherfuckers. They're getting on my nerves.
See, what I think would be interesting, like if a man was with 2 women, and obviously, like you said, you have that honeymoon stage where everything's fresh and shit.
Yeah.
And then like down the road, he's like, I don't really like Susie no more, but I like Samantha.
Yeah.
I want to cut it off with Susie, but Samantha's really into Susie still and wants to be together. Like,
yeah,
how does that fucking work?
Yeah, that would be too, because you're trying to switch it up and go one-on-one from what you committed to doing with 2 people.
Yeah.
So I would think that yeah, that's pretty shitty, right? Because if you're man, woman, whatever, if you're saying that you could take on the commitment to love two people at once, then you should fucking really do your best because not only one person, but two. And then, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like oh man.
Because in
That's
theory,
mind-boggling.
it's like, yeah, but obviously in relationships, you eventually either get tired of someone or you're not getting along with them. And then you're just kind of like, I still like Samantha, but Susie, you're kind of.
But maybe it would take like some of the burden off, like having the extra person to vent to or to spend time with when somebody else needs to be alone, right?
Yeah,
Like
I guess I
sometimes
could
people
see.
need to be alone, and sometimes your significant other takes that personally, even though you're not trying to make it so. So at least in that type of way, they'd be like, all right, well, I got whatever the situation, I got this person to hang out with and do things with.
Yeah, I guess I could see where there's pros and cons of it for sure. What is the statistics on throuples?
So on non-monogamous, which is, I wouldn't consider it fully throuples, but obviously there's a lot of people doing this. So in a poll in January, more than 1,300 U.S. adults find that about 1/3, 32% of U.S. adults say their ideal relationship is non-monogamous to some degree.
Some degree.
Huh. They got to have something in there extra.
Something that I could just have a little wiggle room with,
Wiggle my pickle and I don't know. It's like,
something, right?
Yeah, seriously. And it's, what is it? Among U.S. adults who are in a relationship, 23% say their current relationship is non-monogamous to some degree. So they're already in a relationship, but they're not fully committed to just one person all the time.
So it's like a open relationship then, like,
or some type of degree of free range at some point, right?
That's crazy.
Maybe it's like the hall pass, right? Like that movie.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, you don't get to do it all the time, but I'll give you like,
what is it, like 1 week
or something?
I think she lets him have a hall pass for like 1 week or something. He could do whatever the hell he wants.
Yes.
No guilt.
Guilt free. It's a guilt free trip, not a guilt trip.
I'm actually surprised that the numbers are that high because I don't know.
I'm surprised too, just based on like all the religious gurus that say they're, all the crazy churchgoers and shit. And you see like a number like that. It's like, that's pretty high.
And then women, I feel like guys would definitely be more open to it.
Oh yeah, off the bat.
But women, they're more like, they're built to be more like family oriented, my guy is my guy only, emotional, jealousy. Obviously, jealousy, you can't be jealous at all in a throuple.
I guess if the tables turn though, because if you're talking about like men being more excited for more than one woman in the opposite side, would they be like just as jealous
if another
with
dude,
the other dude?
Yeah.
Hey, sweet mama. That's like a whole different thing. Obviously, then you might not be as excited. And
I'm rethinking this situation a little bit.
I don't know. I know I said I did at first, but this is not the idea I had.
I feel like definitely like I said, you cannot be jealous at all if you're in a throuple.
You couldn't be like to no degree, right? You could just you have to just not give a fuck about anything like in that regard.
Yeah, like if you're a guy and you have another guy in the relationship and he's kissing on your girl, you can't be like, what the fuck, bro?
Right? Why are you doing that right now?
Why are you doing that in front of me? It's fucking disrespectful,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
you come home and they're fucking and you're just like, oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go take a shower and make myself some food. Like, it's, you can't be like you just said and going off. Like, oh, you're fucking without me? What the fuck? Like there could be none of that.
I don't know. I always thought that's weird because I've known of swingers and I always thought swingers was fucking weird. Like how a couple a husband and a wife meet up with another, maybe it's friends or someone they met, husband
Yeah.
and wife, and then they just like pull a switcheroo for the
Yeah.
night, and the husband goes with the other wife. And I always thought that was fucking weird.
Is swinging like dating though? Like, or is it just fucking, right? Because it's like,
I think it's just sexual like desire
because
in nature.
if you was like taking the other person's wife on a date and shit, like that would be like a whole different type of thing too, right?
Yeah, because I think with swingers, there's like no emotional attachment, from my understanding. Like you can't get emotionally attached.
Only physical, baby. There's so many names though. I mean, look at this. Monogamish. I don't even know what the fuck that is. That, like
Polyamorous.
Polyfidelitis.
Yeah.
What is it? A fetus?
I don't even know if we're pronouncing that or these right.
I don't know.
Anarchist.
Anarchist. Damn, those damn anarchists. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Obviously, they have some degree of meaning behind them individually, which I didn't have time to look up. Sorry, that was going to be too much. It's just like, who knew that so many things existed? I never knew that there was this many. Did you?
No, I
no
thought
clue.
it was just called, open relationship
Yeah.
or not open relationship. I didn't know there was so many technical terms for it.
And I'm sure there's certain people that are into these different relationships who they could probably like break it down to you like fully. Well, you see, in a monogamish relationship, like, oh, okay, like, all right, break it down. But fuck yeah, I wouldn't even have a clue based on the name. Like, you know how some names of things kind of give it away of like, or an idea of what it would be. But yeah, I have no clue.
And so with throuples, obviously you can't be married to both people, but I guess in some countries they recognize non-monogamous marriages.
Yeah,
where it's okay to do.
Yeah, so you could have multiple names on the
Marriage certificate.
Yeah, which would be funny, kind of, right? Like in theory, when like you look at the paper, like, okay, there's me, so and so, and then I'm put her down, and there's like 6 lines,
Right.
Like, oh, okay, right on, guy. But I guess some of the countries that recognize them are Algeria, Cameroon, Chad, Central Africa Republic, Republic of Congo. I do not even want to try to pronounce that one. Sorry, y'all.
Djibouti.
Djibouti. I've never been there. It doesn't even sound like a place I would want to go to.
I thought that was a typo.
No, I spelled that wrong. I was high. Egypt and what is
Gabon.
Gabon. Both
Yeah.
men and women can join in polyamorous marriage under Gabonese law. In practice, multiple spouses is reserved for men only. So only men can have
Only men could have.
Yeah.
So a woman can't go and have multiple men.
Yeah, no, not at all. That will not be recognized.
Kind of sensing a double
Gabon.
standard there.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to think a place like that though probably has some very old traditions still anyway. So
Yeah, really favored towards men. Shit, imagine a fucking divorce, man. Imagine it's already bad enough divorcing one woman.
right.
You got to divorce both.
I know. Imagine all the people that were
The alimony.
Explain, yeah. They complain about that, and they're saying, "Oh, I gotta pay this out. I gotta split all my shit. Now you gotta split it 2-3 ways." It's like, oh man, you really fucked up.
Guy's gonna have to get 4 jobs
You
to
better
make alimony.
sure for sure that it works out. That's probably why they don't let it here, because it would fuck up the court system probably way
yeah.
more than it already is.
I wonder what the statistics are like divorce rates here in America compared to other countries.
Yeah, because I was going to say that too about the divorce rates. I bet you if they weren't so bad, that might be something that would be possible here. Because, I mean, obviously it's like, oh, okay, obviously people are sustaining their marriages, but when they're like the numbers are so low, there's like these people can't even handle being with one person. We can't let them be
Right.
recognized to be with two.
That would be a fucking shit show, man. So earlier we asked on social media what people thought of the whole throuple
Yeah.
and what their thoughts on what their terms and conditions would be, why they would be against it. So we actually had a few people respond, and I know you had a few as that messaged you separately, aside from the voice messages. Why don't we go ahead and play one for now, and then we'll kind of talk about their thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right, let's check this out.
Hey guys, so I guess I personally would never want to be in a relationship with two girls and then me. I would feel like I would get too jealous, or there would be the possibility of not knowing where one person ends and the next person begins. Like, what if my boyfriend starts to like the other girl more or something like that? But I guess my big question is for you guys, why does it have to be two girls? What is the possibility of being in a throuple with two guys and one girl? So I guess I want to know what you guys feel, because you obviously are presenting the idea about two girls and a dude, but what if your girlfriend wanted to bring another dude into the situation, and how would you feel about that?
Okay, valid points, right?
Yeah.
And I think I had that same question about thruples, like, because I know when we talked about it, it was usually like the two men or two women, one man.
Yeah.
So I was curious, like, why is it that it's not really two men and one woman?
Because they say statistically there's more women than men. So I guess like the main concept behind it is like, okay, if there was more thruples or like polyamorous marriages,
Yeah,
then maybe there would be like less single women, I guess you could put it. Because I mean, if there's more women to men, automatically there's going to be some left out. Sorry, you can't get a man. I don't know. I mean, no matter what, it's just
so they gotta
just the
join
stats.
forces with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find a man that could love two women at the same time. Got that type of love.
A fucking girl goes up to her friend. She's like, "Hey, I haven't had much luck dating lately, and I didn't see you and Eric are doing fantastic.
We hang out all the time.
We hang out. I'm
It's
always
just
over."
like, we might as well just shack it up. I mean, I'm over there paying this much. I mean, we could just throw it all in the pot, just get it cooking.
Set some ground rules, kind of divide who goes with who what night. And yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that to answer that question for her, for our caller, and for me as well, because I was kind of confused, like, why just women?
Yeah.
But I see her point. She says that, she doesn't want to share.
Yeah. And she would be worried about what I think a lot of women are worried about is the man liking one woman more than the other.
Yeah.
Which obviously could pose a problem to the overall relationship, obviously.
Yeah, because if you're in a throuple with, you're a woman and you're in a throuple with another man and a woman, and every night he's wanting to hang out with her. Exactly. Like, obviously it's going to build some insecurities inside of you. Like, why doesn't he ever want to hang out with me?
He never come to bed with me, that dickhead.
I'm always sleeping alone.
Always by myself. I mean, we got this king size bed and they're like over there shacking it up on the floor.
No, but yeah, so I see her point. Like, obviously there's, like I said earlier, you can't be jealous. And you obviously can't be insecure if you're going to take a part of a throuple.
Oh, hell no.
Because I'm sure there's going to be times where you're like, why doesn't he hang out with me, though? Or,
yeah, he
doesn't kiss me like that. He doesn't look at me like that in the eyes and so passionate,
Right.
He looks at me like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Who's this bitch? Oh, she's here again.
So, God damn it. Why did I pick her for the throuple?
I thought I was coming home to just this girl. Here's...
Oh, man, I just fucking... Oh, this was a bad idea.
So yeah, that's some interesting points I could agree with.
For sure. I mean, too, though, can a woman handle two men? I guess that's another question we could have asked. Like, is that something a woman can actually handle too? The same side as like, can a man handle two women?
Handle as far as like, how do you mean? Like, I mean, for a man, I guess, can you handle two women emotionally? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how true it is, and we'd have to ask women this, but I hear it all the time. Like when one woman is around another woman, their periods sync up. So
Yeah. Oh man, they're like Apple products. They all just sync together once they're trying to airplay you shit you don't want to watch now. Yeah, exactly though.
so
It's
having
like,
to put up with two women on their period at one time.
and like on the same, like, obviously, like, emotional cycle, like, in a way. So it's like, oh man, like, and then it's just like two people telling you more to do.
Yeah. I don't know. So I guess that is a good point. Like in theory, like a man's probably like, hell yeah, dude, two women, I'm down. But in the midst of it all, you would probably be like, I gotta deal with two attitudes, two fucking bitchy, like when they're in a bitchy mood, you know?
Yeah. Two people who don't drive very well. Oh, yeah.
Not getting in the car with either of them.
Insurance is through the roof.
You had some people that responded to you, right? Their thoughts.
I got some
We could
that are
touch base on that.
pretty interesting too, just as well. Like, I mean, I definitely got a variety of.
Did you get any male perspectives on it?
I only got one, I think, and that was the only one, which was funny too. And it's like, I thought that more men would touch on it just based on the fact, like, oh yeah,
Two
like,
women.
two women, yeah. So I wanted to hear like some, but I don't know if men look at it as deep as women look at things.
Yeah.
So they usually have a little bit more to say when it comes to, I don't know, serious subjects, I guess.
Men think more like at the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Yeah.
so deep.
We're not rooted down. So this first person said, I do it. Everyone always says it takes a village to raise a child. At least a throuple is a chosen tribe. Oh, that sounds more help around the home in regards to chores, emotional support and understanding, and lots of openness for communication. Also, it would provide the opportunity to explore sexually and switch up gender roles. How would you switch up gender?
Huh.
So I'm a strap on.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm putting the strap on
I'm
tonight.
putting the strap on. You're gonna be the girl this time. Then she's gonna be just watching. So
Yeah, I don't know. That's a different one.
that is pretty. But I mean, I get what they're saying too, as far as it takes a village to raise a child. Like, obviously, think of how much easier it would be to raise your kid with one extra helping hand. Like, think of like all the celebrities who use nannies and shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's why it's so easy, because you got an extra person to help you.
But then I think at the same time, you don't want to fucking make that person seem like that's their sole purpose. Like, hey,
Yeah,
we're going
no,
on a
not at
date,
all, yeah.
watch little Johnny or whatever, you
Right,
know?
yeah.
And they're always like, I'm just a fucking nanny at this point.
Right. Yeah. And then see, like, I guess I agreed on like the same things of like your emotional support. Like, when
Yeah.
you're, obviously there's more than one person. So you could like figure out, obviously, who's the better person to vent things to. Like, obviously, like for women, if it's easier to talk to another woman about something that
Yeah, I could
wouldn't
see that.
necessarily talk to a man about, then that would be easy.
Like yeast infections, hemorrhoids, whatever.
Hemorrhoids. Can
Women
you check my
problems.
hemis, please.
Does this look cancerous?
And like, see, like, the more help around the house too. See, there you go, bam, extra person helping, doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I could see that being a benefit, I guess. I guess, you know.
Yeah, to some degree.
I'll take your part, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got another caller. Let's kind of hear what they have to say.
Hey guys, this is Danielle, longtime follower, first time caller. Your questions on thruples. I guess I need to know context, because if it's a thruple and it's only hookups and it's due to the relationship becoming stale or needing spicing up, definitely would be game for it. There would be a lot of rules as far as like what's allowed, what kind of physical touch or intimacy would be allowed with my partner. But if it's asking solely like a throuple to have a relationship moving forward with a third person without any end in sight, I think that is something that I probably wouldn't be too comfortable with, just because there will always naturally be that preference of someone wanting to prefer someone else a little bit more. And I just feel like the jealousy would become too much at a certain point.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, see, it's just like everybody's on the like jealousy train, right? Like it's hard to control that.
So hers was more so like if it was a temporary trying to save the relationship type of attempt,
no.
like, hey, let's get someone involved. And I think that thin line is obviously throuple and like a threesome.
Oh yeah.
I think with that,
no, I don't even think. I think there's a. I mean, I don't even think that's a thin line. I think it's like obviously a big difference. You know?
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Maybe
like,
thin line wasn't the best.
Yeah, yeah. Best way. Yeah, but you know, it's just like obviously the fucking variation of that is like, god damn. You know, like we were just gonna bone her, and now she's gonna live here and do all this shit. Like,
so in that instance, she was okay with like temporary, like, hey, let's spice up the relationship, or we're getting stale. She favored that over than like a long-term commitment to that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a lot of these answers are kind of stemming towards, jealousy.
Yeah.
And insecurities.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I feel like a lot of people would probably think that way. Like, I don't want fucking, I don't want this person that I'm with and love touching another person, or.
Yeah, it's like definitely a hard concept for like anybody. I feel like
you have to be really open-minded.
I feel like you can manage it, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, most people are going to feel some type of way about it. This one was kind of funny. It was, this person said, "You got me fucked up. If I truly love someone, I would never want to share them, and it complicates things." So it's like, yeah, it's like you don't want to share. Most people don't want to share, obviously, when it comes. I mean, most people don't want to share fucking anything.
A lot of people are territorial.
Yeah.
So like, no, don't touch my shit. You don't get that. That's mine.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a relationship.
Obviously, yeah. As you get like that over fucking something small. So it's like.
Get over that. I get like that with food. Like, you ain't just going to take a bite off my plate.
This one is funny. This person said, "Yes, my conditions would be if him and I were in a relationship first, he sleeps with me. I would get to pick the female I liked, not him. Of course, if he does too." So I'm assuming like she gets to pick, but obviously if he's like, nah.
Yeah, it can't be just one.
Then while he's at work, it gives her and I time to become best friends. So that's like an interesting one because it's sort of messed up in a way. I mean, obviously it's being open-minded to some degree. If he only got to sleep with her, then it's just like, what if you were like doing something sexually all together? Then it's like, all right, we're going to go to bed. So, we'll see you later. Go to your room, like, good night.
Go to your room.
They're all sad, all just feel used and abused, going to sleep by themselves.
Yeah. So.
All naked and sad and shit. Might cry themselves to sleep after experience like that.
I feel like there'd be a shit ton of awkward moments, honestly.
And then, but it's funny because it's like, oh, you could become best friends while he's at work. So that's pretty ideal. I mean, but then what if they just band together to not like you no more either?
Right.
Just,
they start picking out all your flaws and shit.
Right. While they're together and shit, while you're at work and come back and your thruple's over.
No more thruple, buddy. You went to work a thrupler. Now you're not a thrupler.